Well, hello. Saturday morning, fourth day post election. Yeah, I got a cold. 4-year-old granddaughter gave it to me, but that's okay. Let's talk about the election. Let's talk about all the stupid reasons that people think that a 34 count felon beat a sitting vice president who was in the law enforcement part of the government for many years. It wasn't because Trump is smarter than Kamala Harris. Not at his age now, he isn't. Maybe he was at one time, but not now. It wasn't because he won the debates. It wasn't because of his rallies versus her rallies. It wasn't because of good-minded people thinking he was more qualified or the economy was better under him. It wasn't than it was under Biden. It was for one reason and one reason only. She's a woman. He's a man. This country still has the ultimate glass ceiling. And those people above the glass ceiling and looking down, all the powerful men in the world, don't want a woman to break through that ceiling for obvious reasons. There's a lot of competent women underneath that ceiling. This is 2 times in a row that Donald Trump has beaten an American woman. Both quite qualified for the job, as opposed to his experience as a game show host or reality television host. The Trump campaign was smart. Not Donald, but somebody in the Trump campaign. Probably the Heritage Foundation, who really has bankrolled the appointments of the Supreme Court, the elections of lots of sitting judges all over the country. They got the judicial system in their hip pocket. And now they've got this 2025 thing, which is a pretty scary mandate. Okay? I'm 72 and white. I really don't have much to worry about. Okay? They're all 72 and white as well. Okay, I'm broke and they're rich. Well, that wasn't going to change no matter what. I'm just typically broke. And perennially broke, and for half a century broke. So I've had a couple good nights, but mainly broke. Here is the groups that Trump was smart enough to go after, or I hate to say Trump, it wasn't him. The Trump Pact was smart enough to go after. The Heritage Foundation was smart enough to go after. They went after 2 groups that turned the tide. And it didn't matter that JD called Puerto Rico a floating cesspool of garbage. It didn't matter that Trump said that Haitians ate people's pets. You'd think that sort of shit would have turned enough Latino men away from Trump and into Kamala Harris. I have a fiance that's Dominican. She's not political, but, she's in a big Latino or Dominican family. And I asked her a couple days ago, after the election had sunk in, I said, you've got relatives in the U.S. that are documented, that are here. And she says, yeah. And I said, who did they vote for, do you know? And she says, all Dominicans voted for Trump. I said, who rallied them for Trump? And she says, the men of the family. you got to understand the Latinos, Dominicans, that diaspora of people, okay, are all very family oriented, and the men of the family do not want to see a woman in power. Scared to death what's going to happen in Mexico now, because that's as far from what the male populace of that country would want. They don't want to empower the women of their families. They don't want to empower their daughters. They don't want to empower their wives. They don't want to empower their mistresses. They don't want to empower their sisters. They like the way things are, and they're going to do all they can to keep it that way. And Trump's Heritage Foundation group and Elon Musk, and was raised in apartheid, need we say more than that, don't want it to change. They don't want it to change. The other group that Trump went after, or Trump's group went after, Trump just stood around the stage and acted like it was Ronald McDonald without the big orange hair. Oh, never mind. He had that too. Without the big feet and hands, okay, because he don't have those. He just was, the buffoon out front, while they went and wooed the male college students. Okay, well, the male college students obviously don't want to show that a woman can administrate the country, because that empowers women to compete against them for the same jobs and gives them the right to expect equal pay for the equal jobs. And if you're a male college student, you got enough competition without worrying about empowered women. So basically, in a close election, in a place where swing states, 7 states, are mainly conservative, okay? It wasn't hard to swing enough people in the Latina community and the college community. Remember, the girls in college, although some are very bright, very capable, and one of them one day will be president of the United States, I'm sure of that, okay? The boys on campus rule the campus. You aren't going to tell me they don't. I've been on campus. I know the campus life. I've got friends that have gone to college. I've gone to college myself for a couple of times. Thinking about getting back into it again, even at 72. But it's no doubt that the entire college community was, except for a few exceptions, there were a few scenes of historically black universities marching to the polls, and I'm pretty sure that they supported Harris abundantly. But the real thing is, there were so few of them that the social media was able to capture every one of them. It wasn't like all the colleges in the country were all marching to the polls to vote for Harris. Far from it. So I think that's pretty much an explanation of what happened. And we've got 4 years. Forget about the interims, the midterm elections. We've got 4 years to rally the troops and straighten this thing out. And if that ain't enough time, so be it. Take care. Have a great one.